love working with the green screen. And as you can see in this course, I've been using it for all my lectures where I'm in front of the camera. I used to think that working with the green screen was really complicated and hard to do. And I know a lot of people think the same way. And I have to admit, I quite accidentally started working with the green screen. What had happened, I had ordered a backdrop and lighting set. This one actually I'm just showing you, the Camtasia Studio Photography Video Studio Triple Light Kit. Had a 10 by 12 foot screen and a black and a white and a green backdrop. I had some lighting and I had ordered it originally for the lights and the black and white backdrops, which are all great by the way, and they worked okay. However, I wasn't quite happy with how I looked in front of a plain white or backdrop. So I decided to put up the green screen just for the fun one day. And I wasn't convinced of the green screen because I had seen some pretty bad videos where people had a green halo around them once the background was removed. And that wasn't really the look I wanted or going for. But with the Camtasia, it's easy to remove the background, and it has a number of other adjustment settings that allowed me to remove that green halo as well. So once I'd done my first test shot and edited with Camtasia, I knew I wasn't going back to any other way of doing my videos. So how does that green screen actually work? The basic idea behind it is simple. You shoot your video in front of a background color that doesn't naturally occur in your foreground or in you, and when you remove this color from your video, you're left with a transparent background that simply allows you to underlay any new background you choose. That's the basic idea behind it. And over the next few lectures, I'll show you exactly how that works, and I'll take you through the process step by step. But before we get there, I have a couple of do's and don'ts for you. Do make sure that your green screen is wrinkle-free, and you can see it in the background here. It's really important to have an even color so you can remove the color well. If you're using a cloth backdrop like I do, you want to stretch it out as much and you can clamp it down on the edges to have an even look. When I first put up our green background here at the office, it had lots of wrinkles in it. Even stretching it didn't help enough. So you can use a steamer to get some of those wrinkles out, but I found another great trick that works awesome. I actually picked it up from a photographer on YouTube, and it really works. So here's what you do. You fill a spray bottle with warm water, and then you spray your backdrop with it. Now you really have to spray, not just a few drops of water, but you really have to soak it really well. We ended up doing it a few times. You spray it, you let it sit, you spray it again, and over time we got a nice even green background. Next thing, do test before you shoot a lot of footage. Because depending on your hair color, it's easier or harder for you to remove the background. For example, I have dark hair and the green screen works really well for me. My little daughter, however, she's blonde, and when we did some tests, we had her in the picture as well, and it's much harder to get her hair color out with the green screen. So there is something called a blue screen instead of a green screen, and that will give you better contrasting color if you have a light hair color. And the last, do make sure that you're not wearing anything green when you're shooting in front of a green screen. If you do, well, you look like a ghost, unless that's the look you're going for, and then by all means wear green. So those are the first little tips to get you going, and I'll take you through the process in the next lectures exactly of how you remove that once you have shot your footage.